Facebook says decision on whether Trump be banned will be overturned coming Wednesday. CNN Business Story. Their oversight board will announce its long-anticipated decision on the fate of former President Trump's Facebook account at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday and announced Monday morning. The board said last month that it had received 9,000 plus public responses concerning Trump's indefinite suspension from Facebook and Instagram. Facebook suspended Trump's account following the January 6th Capitol riots and later referred the decision to the court-like oversight board, an independent body which has the power to reverse Facebook content decisions and set precedent for the company. Later that month, Facebook asked the oversight board for a ruling on whether to let Trump's suspension stand, saying the significance of the matter warranted its independent review. Thoughts?
Well, is there anybody that thinks it's going to get overturned? I don't think there's a chance in hell that he's back on Facebook.
I think there is. But
okay,
go ahead.
well, and I just don't think there is. This is the Facebook Supreme Court. It's happened 6 times where they've done it. I think they overruled it twice, couldn't decide one time. But no, I don't think so. And here's what they're going to lean on. They're going to lean on the one thing that got him banned. It was the video where he says, "We love you. We think you're very special." I mean, look, you might not agree with the rules, but the rules are in place, and there's consequences to having a message like that on that day. And my prediction is I don't think he's going to be back on Facebook.
Okay, what do you think?
I'm kind of 50-50 with it, but I also may look at it like they're looking at him as competition, because there is rumors going around that he's going to launch a social media platform or partner with someone as well too. So if this is going to be your social media, you don't want to give him your platform that opportunity to promote and bring followers over from that particular platform as well. So I'm kind of 50-50 in regards to if they will or won't do it. I know that they're getting a lot of pushback on it as well, but council culture, they don't care.
Don't you think it's a little bit more difficult to just say you're going to start your own social media platform?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
but once more, when you're at his level, it's not about him doing it. These things are already in the works. You partner with individuals who have already done the work, and then you put the money behind it and your influence, and ta-da, you have it.
So do you think they will or they won't?
He said he's 50-50. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on if they will or if they won't.
I think more than the Trump situation here is the power of big tech. Like the fact that the Facebook gods, the overlords, are like, well, should we or should we not allow the former president of the United States to be on our platform? I think it's such a huge decision that it's ridiculous. And I'm, in case you haven't gotten the memo, not a Trump fan in the least.
Right.
But I think that you should at least allow the former president of the United States to have a place on your platform. Now, if you want to put like literally behind every message that he does, this message has been fact-checked and he's definitely a liar and, he over-exaggerates and he's definitely divisive. You want to do all that, but to ban him from being on a platform is ridiculous. And don't forget, I think Trump's approval ratings were hovering in the low 40s. Facebook's and Mark Zuckerberg's are hovering in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, but they just did record
to be
revenue,
worse than Trump is pretty bad.
I just think their history, they're not. How much heat would they take from all the other social media companies if they allowed him back? It would put this pressure then on Twitter to allow him back. I strongly believe there's no chance.
One thing I know for sure, we'll be covering this story on Thursday.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance because I think this is. If you remember, Zuck took a couple positions where he said, "Look, we're a social media website, so we don't dictate what policies we put in, what policies we don't." And he made some decision that pissed off the left. I don't know if you remember. This was like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and they were not happy about the position he took. And he gets backlash from both sides all the time. You got to give credit to Zuck on the one end where both sides hate him. There's almost a little bit of credibility when both sides hate you at times rather than just one side hate you.
Approval ratings are 20%.
But the point is, the reason why both sides hate him is because sometimes he takes a stand that is not Republican and sometimes he takes a stand that's not Democratic. So I think there is a chance they may allow him back with certain restrictions where every post has to be approved type of situation, where they may come out and say the post has to be, we created a committee that all they do is watch Trump's post, and they say, here's what is posted, do we want to approve this, put it up? It may be something like that, but I do think there's a 10-20% chance.
I was going to ask you. You're an odds guy. You're going with 10-20%.
But let me ask you this.
I think there's a 20%
Do you think
chance
Zuck's involved in the decision?
100%.
Okay, because it's supposed to be this. No, 100%. Okay, here's the stat.
Yeah, this secret...
Okay, 6 times.
Trifecta.
6 times it's been overturned, upheld them twice, 1 time they couldn't come up with a decision.
The oversight board.
So they have actually overturned it 6 times, the majority.
Huh.
Look, Trump's news is getting out. He's sending email to the media nowadays. He responds and puts some email, says Oscar needs to go back to this. This needs to go back to this. So his message is being picked up. He's just sending emails.
Not as much as.
Of course, it's not at that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not. But if I have to choose, you got Twitter, you got YouTube, you got Facebook, meaning Google, right? So YouTube. So you got Facebook, Google, Twitter. Who's most likely to let him back on?
Not Twitter.
Okay, so that's last.
That's last. He's out. He ain't coming back.
So who's most likely to let him back on?
YouTube.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be Facebook, YouTube, then Twitter.
Hey, here's another thing to consider. Do you think there's a possibility he's enjoying his life with a little less stress?
No.
You don't think so?
I think he's such a sore loser that he's 0% happy about what's going on right now.
I believe he's festering, and he's ready to come back and just do it just to annoy a lot of people at the end of the day.
He's also 72. Maybe he's tired.
70. He's not.
Trump
72.
don't get tired. He's 74.
74 years
He's got the
old.
body like an 84-year-old and the mind of a 4-year-old. He's going to be back, baby.
I don't know, man. It's a comfortable lifestyle up there in Palm Beach.
What is it about Trump that you enjoy, that you like?
So that's a great question. I've never known not to like Trump. I come from an environment, from an urban environment where we've always admired Trump. From a celebrity standpoint, from the gold buildings, from the rap videos, from the movie appearances. It was never political.
It was pop
It was
culture.
only to political.
But that took
people told me
U-turn since 2015.
They told me not to like him just because. And then there are certain things that I understand about human beings. I understand that I don't have to agree with everything 100%.
Yeah.
I like strength. I like individuals that say what they say, and they're unorthodox and they're untraditional, which is why I talk about the electrician. That's unapologetically different, right? And I think he represented that for the time and moment in regards to what our country needed, and it was simplistically just based upon that.
So were there things that you're like, look, I appreciate him, I respect him, but
that
I can't do. What were those?
Some tweets and sometimes just having that certain stance on answering questions straightforward in regards to white supremacy and things of that nature. Like, you could just go ahead and do it, even though you've answered it. And that was the biggest thing. He had to say, you got to answer the same questions over and over. I know that it can get redundant. I get it all the time. And I just answered that like literally 2 seconds ago. Just
right. But what about like the Confederate flags? He was kind of, not siding with taking it down. Obviously, you probably have strong opinions on that.
Right. Well, honestly, I wasn't really educated in regards to what that truly meant at that particular time, in regards to why people felt for it or even felt against it, but also just the foundation of choice. Like, if that's what you're for, that's what you're for. I don't have to agree with it. And so I never took a hard stance when it came to that, because it doesn't bother me. My life continues to be what my life is.
How does that not bother you?
Adam likes to be emotional. It's part of his.
No one is bringing it up to me. Like, it's not in there's not anyone in my yard, making me acknowledge it or anything of that nature. So I just don't own every issue and every activism type of thing people want me to be a part of.
I told you, Pat, I'm working on my emotions. I get it.
You're getting much better.
I'm trying to hold it in.
So, okay, we'll see. Wednesday, tomorrow, we get the news.
Yes.
Folks, if you're watching, what do you think? Likelihood. Let's do a survey here.
I'd love to hear
likelihood. If you say there's no way in the world they're going to prove him, smash the thumbs up button. If you say they're going to prove him, he's going to be back on Facebook, put the thumbs down. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.